Welcome, folks, back to the shop. Peter here again. So, as you know, I'm working on a lot of little costume things. One of the costumes I'm working on gets pretty damn warm. So, in the past, I've used liquid cooling in my Spartan armor back at RTX 2 years ago, and it worked really well. I was the only person who was basically not dying from heat stroke. The half-liter, 500 milliliter water vessel full of ice water lasts me about an hour and a half, which is about how long the battery lasted too for the pump, which was an 18650 and a boost module. Wasn't much battery there to run this whole thing. These pumps don't draw a lot of power, surprisingly. You think of a pump, think of a multi-horsepower pool pump. It draws 2 kilowatts, not, 2 watts or so. So anywho, this right here is what I use to hack and modify. This one's unique because it actually has the ability to be kind of parted out. The ones from Corsair would work too. The problem is they have a pump as part of the water block, which in our case isn't necessary. So, inside the box contains a radiator, well, usually plumbed up, but in my case, after discombobulating the whole thing, a radiator, a water block, and the pump. So, here's how the whole thing works. We got ourselves a Berg branded, oops, that's a little bit liquidy there, double-ended shut-off valves. We got ourselves a Berg brand, B-R-E-G, IntelliFlow knee pad. I found these at Goodwill. They're used for those with knee surgeries. Hey, I've had 2 so far. And all it is basically a flow channel plate on the inside. You can use these cold side or lesser cold side towards your body. In my case, they go right on the back. Just like so. And the idea is that keeps your back cool where you have your kidneys and your blood flow. Basically, it's a heat exchanger. Your internal body blood work is one of the fluid paths, and then this basically sits in your kidneys and the small of your back, and that coolness, that heat sinking goes from there into the cooling pack. Now, there are 2 modes of operation of this whole thing. Version 1 works on ice water. Why? Because it works. I've got right here the guts to a camel pack, and the rest of the housing's down there. This pump isn't very big, so the pump mounts right at the bottom of the said actual off-the-shelf Boda bag kind of thing, and that just pumps water. I am going to fuse up here using some silicone sealant, a return pipe, and it just goes in an endless loop. You fill this full of ice, some ice cubes from your local, you're at a convention at a hotel, right? Those little ice bags you have full of for like keeping your drinks cool. It comes with little thin bags, and it's little leatherette kind of a liter size little ice bucket. Yeah, because not everyone has fridges yet, but it's kind of fun how it works out. You can get ice pretty easily at most hotels, or get a bag of ice yourself, or ask for some somewhere and just dump it in your camel pack. This will reside inside the back armor of the character, but this is basically 2 liters of ice water. Quite a lot of ice water. That's 4 times what I had in my previous design, so let's see how this works out. That flows into the pump, flows through the cooling pad, and so on and so forth. I'm not going to put any PID circuitry in there or any kind of Arduino because honestly, it's not going to get so cold you can't wear it. It's not that effective where it's going to actually hurt you. I've already tested this out last night, but believe me, the cooling effect feels so good. Now, the other operation is this. This is where it gets a little more geekery. Dump the ice water, make it a closed loop system, and use the water block. But wait, what's a water block good for? We're not going to cool a CPU, we're going to cool the water block. We're going to use something called a Peltier module, also known as a thermoelectric cooler, and bond the Peltier module to this, have a heatsink on the other side, on the hot side, and literally use that as a way of chilling water to then stick throughout your suit. Basically, we're creating a medical-grade lab chiller, like you'd find in a physics lab, just on a much smaller scale, made out of parts from a local electronics store. Hi! So, this won't ever be used. There's no technical reason why I couldn't use this and the back cooling pad and the pump and do passive radiation, including, and I can also add the fans too. The problem with that is that there's not enough temperature differential to really do anything. Thermal rules say that you have to have some temperature drop to make things really work properly, and that ain't here. But it definitely, using the ice water, works really well. The person won't be in suit for more than a few hours at a time, so in all reality, it's perfect. So, there you go. So right now, tonight's job will be to plumb this whole thing up and go plumb crazy, playing the role of Mario, the electrician's plumber. Because yes, water and electricity do mix, in the right proportions stoichiometrically. Thanks for watching.